Hey guys, how are you doing? Today I will be doing a SEO audit for someone that commented on my channel, for a local business owner, and I offered him an SEO audit, and we got talking, and now this is the video of the SEO audit. So what we'll be going over today, guys, is going through the checklist, just going through all the different things, all the foundational issues that could occur on your website that could be affecting your SEO, your local SEO, right, or national SEO for that matter, right? So what we'll be doing today, guys, is just going through each step. Unfortunately, because we don't have the full, we don't have all the access to all of his kind of his website. We don't have access to his tools and things like that. This is just off the naked eye, just off the tools that we have at hand. So there will be certain areas that we can't do, unfortunately, but it just gives you guys a rough idea of how we usually go through a website to find out what can be improved from a foundational standpoint, and it could give you some pointers as what to improve on your own client's website, or your own website for that matter, right? Okay, so to start off with, I won't speak too much, I'll just jump right into it. This company is a home services business that offers obviously cleaning services, maintenance services, as you can see, pressure cleaning, pressure washing, window cleaning, carpet cleaning, and then we go into the kitchen cleaning, I believe, dining, bathrooms, bedrooms, lots and lots of different services, right? And right off the bat, I can give you a couple of pointers just by looking at this site with the naked eye, without even going through the checklist, some tips that he could apply to the site to improve his SEO, right? Because there is a lot of opportunities here, right? Because cleaning services, is a big thing, especially, if you offer lots of different options and lots of different services, you're expanding that that service offering, and you're expanding your reach to multiple people looking for different things across Google, right? But that's only if you you build your site in a certain way that you actually rank for these different terms, right? So for these different services, and this could be for example, all of these different things that he offers and all these different services, right? Oven cleaning, carpet cleaning, is actually having a specific page covering that service, right? And I see this a lot with a lot of businesses, which it is completely, I completely get it. If you have a business, if you have a small business and you have a website, it's quite expensive to build lots and lots of pages, right? So sometimes you just want to have a couple of pages that just list all of your services. Fair enough, right? However, the problem is it won't rank incredibly well, and you're missing out on a lot of opportunities, right? So if you do offer a lot of services, whether you're a plumbing company, whether you're a cleaning company like this one, whether you're a HVAC, whatever it is, or a locksmith, if you offer lots of different other services and lots of different you offer these services to lots of different industries and things like that, whatever it is, it's a good idea to start building out pages for those different services, right? Because Google can only crawl, Google wouldn't come onto this site and then, just because you've got all these different keywords on the page doesn't mean you'll rank for those different keywords. If anything, you'll probably obviously you've got cleaning services. There isn't much content on here, written content. It just lists off, the different maybe a couple of frequently asked questions at the bottom here, but there's just lists all the different services they offer, right? Now, the opportunity would be to make these clickable links, and then they click onto that link and it goes to another page, which is clean countertops, or let's say, for example, a better example would be oven cleaning services in their location, right? And then what you're building is you're building a page that's crawlable and indexable in Google, right? So it indexes in Google, and it will, instead of just ranking for, say, cleaning services, right? You'll be then ranking for oven cleaning services, because you have a page specifically for oven cleaning services, and it will have, great content on there. It will have, links going to that page. It will have images. It will have forms, things like that. A good example, let me just find an example, right? Let's just go to here. So we'll just type up cleaning services, we'll just find this keyword and we'll type it up here, right? So we'll just go, we'll just say, okay, right, and we go down. So we see the different competitors, right? So we go to Jim's Cleaning, this is one I saw earlier, seems to be doing quite well in the SEO space. So we go into the services, right? And we see all the different pages that he's built for these different services, right? So we've got carpet cleaning, and we've got carpet cleaning, leather cleaning, protection, tile and grout cleaning, upholstery, mattress cleaning, all these different pages, right? And then you click onto the pages, and then as you can see, I mean, he's got, let's see here, so he's got a call to action, so a little service kind of call to action. He's got the keyword carpet cleaning, right? This I'm already seeing improvements for this page as well. You know, just by even saying instead of carpet cleaning in general, you could do carpet cleaning in, you know, in a specific area. But as you can see, going back to the point, he's got content specifically focused on carpet cleaning, I believe. He's got images specifically focused on carpet cleaning. He's got, you know, professional carpet cleaning from the experts, our carpet cleaning services, right? And then he's got links to all these other pages, right, which are related to, you know, different cleaning services, right? And then he's got, you know, this is great, frequently asked questions. So he's got lots of different frequently asked questions, building more and more content on the site. And I'm sure, well, if I type up, let's just say, let's just have a look. So we have a look here. Just have a look here, we'll see what's going on, see how he's ranking. He may not be ranking as well. Jim's, is that the one? Yeah, so it's not the same page, but as you can see, oh right, so he has built a page, as you can see. So he's got the page for carpet cleaning, and he's also got a page, as you can see, carpet cleaning, and then the location, as you can see, like I recommended earlier. And then he's got content, he's got a map embed just to build that relevancy. He's got call to actions up here, you know, things like that. And he's got that keyword. There's probably a bit more content, you could probably add a bit more content on there as well. But, you know, you can see kind of how you could instantly improve this site just by looking at it sometimes. Once you get to a certain point, you can start to see opportunities just by looking at a site, right? You know, services, he's got all these different services, and Google will be crawling all of these different pages. And Google, as you probably know, if you are slightly familiar with SEO, Google would rather crawl, you know, let's just have a look here, how many pages it got. So they've got a couple of pages in here, so we see, you know, 5 results. Google would rather crawl a page that has, you know, let's just say 5 results, and we'll just say how many pages here. All right. Look, there are 32,000 results, right? Obviously, I'm not saying you have to do that amount of pages, but you see kind of the difference, right? Because, you know, this is building lots and lots of content. You know, you have to make sure, obviously, all of these pages have written content on. It's all, not the same content, you know, over and over again. It's not duplicated content, but you can see that Google loves to crawl. You know, when they crawl big sites with lots of content and it's all relevant to different the services they offer. You have you're much likely to rank for the different key phrases that you're targeting, right? So that's just right off the bat. Just by looking at this site, I can see opportunities. And it doesn't, you know, I'm not saying you have to get up to 32,000. I mean, that's quite impressive to get it to that point. I'm just saying, you know, if you see opportunities, if you see, you know, certain services that may be more important, you know, maybe, you know, consider building out a page for it specifically, right? So Google can crawl that page. So carpet cleaning, right? Build out a page specifically for carpet cleaning with lots of, you know, content, informative content on there, informative content on there, lots of call to action, so buttons on there, forms and images, right? Instead of just having a section on your site, because Google can't crawl a specific section. Like, it's not going to it's going to take a page much more seriously than just a section on your site, right? So it's important to just have, you know, your most important services listed out different pages, right? And that's what we keep in mind when building websites, right? When we build our sites, what we do is we build something called a sitemap, right? And what these look like, I'll just show you here. Okay, so this is a recent client of ours. What we do is we figure out what services they need, right? What services they offer, and then then we build out a sitemap, right? And then we build out lots of education pages as well around the different services they offer. Maybe if they don't have as many services, right, what you want to replace that with is sometimes maybe education pages and things like that, just to build that content, that content-rich site, right? So what we do is we build out all the different pages. So TMS for depression, theta burst stimulation. Other pages will build out more, like maybe we'll build out TMS for anxiety, TMS, lots of so as you can see here, TMS for sleep disorders, TMS for bipolar, and we've got pros and cons, and we build out all these different pages, and they're ranking for all these different, they're targeting all these different keywords, right? And this is what Google likes to see. This will set you up to have a good chance at ranking and becoming a real competitor in your local marketplace, right? So let's get into the actual SEO audit itself now, right? Okay, right. So to start off with, SEO tools essentials. I don't have access to any of these tools, but a good way of checking if your client does have Google Analytics installed is just by simply typing out Google Analytics checker, right? Let's just see here. Yeah, it's this one. So we'll find the site. Okay. So as you can see, there is no Google Analytics installed on the site, so that would be something that you need to add. Just so you can measure the performance of your site, so you can measure your the user activity. You can set up conversion tracking, so you can track how many forms are filled out every month. There's a lot you can do with Google Analytics. I could go on forever really. So we just do a Z there, and then we do a Google Search Console. So if they don't have Google Analytics, they won't have Google Search Console usually. Bing Search Console. Let's just put an X because it's there and they probably don't have that. So Bing Business and Google My Business, right? So usually what you want to do is if you search up their brand name into Google, their Bing Business should come up. Let's just go from their location. Okay, so because if it's something else, that's not a really good idea to have your Bing Business and the name of the Bing Business, the Google My Business, right, or the Bing Business not being your actual business name, right? It's not a good idea. So home aid services, right? Just put it there. Okay, we're not really seeing any kind of knowledge panel, like any business coming up here. So as opposed to, let's say if we search up, let's say Ritz Plumbing. So you see there's no kind of, if you type up a specific brand name, brand profile should come up with Google My Business profile. So there's an issue, right? Okay, let's just say, it just doesn't seem like they have one by the looks of it. I can look on their site actually, just to see if there's any maps or anything on the site. Not that I know of. Let's go contact us. Okay, so there is a map here. So it seems to be a map here, but there doesn't seem to be. This place is based in Australia, I believe, by the looks of it. If I'm mistaken, but it seems like it's based in Australia, and their map is showing that they're in the UK. So that would be a big red flag for me, right? Even if I was a customer, right? Now I've gone on to contact us page, and I'll be thinking, hang on a minute, if you're based in the UK, why are you saying you're in Australia? So there's a big issue. So that would need to be addressed. I'm not sure. I don't know if that maybe they came from the, maybe they haven't updated this part of the site yet. I don't know. But that would be a big issue for me. Okay, so yeah, let's just put that there. We'll do. You can check Bing. We'll check Bing as well. Bing. Go into Bing. Okay, so we just type up. Right. Now, so the issue with not having a Google My Business or a Bing business, right, is obviously you're missing out on a massive opportunity, right? A lot of home, I mean, it's crazy. I can't really explain. You're missing out on a huge opportunity there because, you're missing out on, let's say, we'll type up their keyword. So cleaning services here, right? So you're not coming up in here, right? Unless I've missed it, I don't know. Let's just have a look here. Yeah, you won't be coming up in the map pack down here, which is a huge issue, right? Because as you can see, this is the first section that comes up, right? And a lot of users are now heading to this map pack here, right? Because it's the first thing that shows up. It shows their reviews, it shows everything they need to know, and you can just easily call or visit their website and call up. So a lot of I've worked with a fair amount of business so far, not too many to my name, but from my experience, a lot of the leads have come through. A lot of the leads have come through the Google My Business in the local area. So especially with a home services business, right, it's absolutely vital to have a Google My Business, right? Now, there's one reason, right? The next reason is if a user is searching up your business name, right? So we're searching up homemade services right in the location. If a user is searching up your business name, they're trying to look for, reviews around your business, independent information around your business, homemade services. I feel like, that's not really coming up, is it? If they're looking for information around your business, right, it's going to show up as a bit of a red flag if there's no, for example, if I was to type up, a client I was working with previously, so Florida TMS Clinic, right, it comes up with the reviews, it comes up with the information, it comes up with photos, right, it comes up with their website, it comes up with different profiles for their business. Some of them come up with independent reviews as well, right? So let's say that Ritz Plumbing, and whether they're good or bad, right? We type up Ritz Plumbing. There is Yelp listings on independent reviews, Indeed, things like that. As opposed to just having reviews on your site, it's just key to build that profile and build that online reputation, right? And that's just key, really. Having that, there is just it's just something you need to have, even if you don't even do, get many leads online. It's just a good idea to have it because people will research your business, right? People will look at your company and see what's going on. So, that is it said there. Not sure how if they've got call tracking set up. So we'll put said there. Google Ad Network. I believe I did see. I may be wrong, but I thought I saw they were doing some sort of ads. Let's just say cleaning. Let's just type up their main keyword, right? Okay. Just see if there was any ads. Just check if there is any ads. Sometimes you can see. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I thought I may have seen an ad previously. So put that just across there. Right. Okay, site redirects to the preferred version. So these are the primary core SEO issues. So these are the foundational issues. So all you got to do is go over to the site. Let's just go back to homemade services, right? You just basically go over to this section up here, take away the S, it should redirect back to the preferred version. Let's put www. Okay. Okay, so www. Okay, so it's keeping the www dot in place when you type up that. So the reason why we want to check this out is basically it's just so there's not kind of two versions of your site showing up, right? So sometimes that can be an issue, but I think we're in the clear here. Yeah, by the looks of it, I think we're all good. It seems to be only, yeah, I mean, you can access it like that, but it doesn't seem to be showing up in Google. But if I'm wrong, I may be wrong, comment below, let me know, right? Yeah, so we're going to put a X there, just to make sure, because it seems to be working, right, in general. SSL certificate installed, so this is just a direct ranking factor. You should just have this. Handmade services, I keep on going off of it. Yeah, so the little padlock is there, right, and we just make sure that that's the same throughout all the pages. Seems good to me. Okay. Oh wow, I've just stumbled across an issue there. Don't know what's happening here. Okay, bit weird. So we've clicked on the contact button down here as opposed to the actual contact page here, contact us page here, and I've clicked it down there, and it's taken us to this kind of strange formatted page, right? So we have got an issue there. We'll just note that down for the minute. We just put I'll put in the notes up here. Strange contact button link in footer. Strange contact button link in footer. I'll probably improve that. I mean, that doesn't make too much sense, but I'll improve it a bit later on. Just so I remember to go. So SSL certificate installed, that's all good. Page speed faster than 2 seconds. So all you want to do is take the URL. Okay. We go to GT metrics. Well, there's two actually. You can go to GT metrics or website speed test, I believe it's called, website speed test, and this gives you a very in-depth insight as to what is going on. This one down here, web page test. Oh no, it's not that one. Sorry, ignore me. I pinged them. Website. It might be that one. They may have changed the layout actually. It used to look quite dated, but I think it may be this one. But you just plug it in there and they'll give you a really in-depth review of the website speed test and give you a waterfall of the different things and stuff like that. But we're just going to use GT metrics for the minute, just to find out. Let's just go Australia. And we'll just see what it's coming up with, because it is fairly accurate. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't, but sometimes you get a bit more. If you're optimizing a page for the speed, I'd recommend using something like webpagetest.org. I'm hoping that's the correct one. I think they've just changed the layout of their site, because last time it used to be slightly different. If I'm wrong, comment below, let me know. But okay, so Google Analytics, we know that doesn't exist because we checked that earlier. Conversion tracking online and offline, well, we know that doesn't happen because they haven't got Google Analytics. What I mean by conversion tracking online and offline is basically tracking the calls, right? Tracking the calls to the business, so offline, and then tracking online is tracking the forms, maybe live chat, whatever it is, button clicks, video watches, all the good stuff that happens on your site. What I want to make sure you guys understand is you want to be tracking the macro and micro conversions. What I mean by this is tracking not only the macro conversions, so form fills, calls and things like that, form fills, live chats, whatever they are, but you also want to be tracking the micro conversions, which are video views on the site, if they're watching videos, guide downloads, so if they're downloading guides, page views, all these different micro conversions, because you can usually figure out, well, if you're not tracking them, you're actually losing a big chunk of your conversion tracking data, right? Because you're not figuring out what's going on in the buyer's journey, right? So if you're seeing a lot of people are watching videos and then exiting the site, well, we know there's an issue with that, right? So maybe we need to improve certain things on that page. A great way of just doing this as well is using Hotjar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hotjar. I did do a video on it. If you look at my channel, if you head over to my channel, view this video here, and I basically cover how you can use Hotjar to optimize a website. But it basically tracks what users are doing, where people are going. It records what users are doing on your website, and you can actually view how they're interacting with the site, what they're doing. So I'd recommend maybe downloading that as well, installing on the site. It does slow down your site slightly though, so I would recommend just having it on there for maybe like 2 weeks just to understand how people are using it, if you just publish a new site and things like that. But I wouldn't have it on there for quite a good amount of time, because it can slow it down slightly in some cases, right? Okay, so yeah, for you guys that aren't massively familiar with SEO out there, page speed is also a good thing to have. A fast site, because no one likes a slow site, right? It's also becoming more predominant as a ranking factor with something called Core Web Vitals. Is basically to give you an indication of what I mean by this. So ranking factors are different things that Google looks at that will basically rank your site in the Google search engine. So if one site may have 10 ranking factors that are seen by Google, and another site may have like 5 ranking factors, so they'll rank the one with the more ranking factors, if that makes sense. I may have not explained that very well, but basically if one site has a fast site, they have SSL certificate installed, they have all these different things, right? And then the other site only has the SSL certificate installed, but they've got a really slow site, and they're not going to rank as high, right, in some certain cases, right? So page speed is becoming more and more predominant from a SEO standpoint and from a user experience standpoint. So you don't want to be losing customers because it takes 10 seconds or 20 seconds to get on your site, right? As social media, everything like that, people's attention span are getting lower and lower by the day. So you want to make sure that you capture those users, and you want to make sure that your site is very quick and accessible, just like this one here. Excellent performance, as you can see, grade A, wonderful. I don't need to worry about the site speed, right? So let's just put it as there. So yeah, just make sure that you're just testing the site, making sure that everything's up to scratch. So I would test it in GTmetrix, web page test, and then I would also test it in something called the Google Lighthouse test as well. Lighthouse, I think it's Lighthouse, because this is kind of what I would look at from a user experience standpoint. So I'd look at how fast is the site, in general, right? Like how fast does it load, and then I would look at the Google page speed checker, right? And this basically judges how fast your site loads from an SEO perspective, right? And what I mean by this is it will judge it. It has different factors that may be different to just judging how fast your loads. It may have factors about the page experience. Are the images optimized correctly? Things like that, and it will give you a different score. And this is from a ranking perspective. I'm hoping I explained that well, but basically this score, if it's very low, it may affect your rankings, right? Because you could have a really fast site, but the score on here could be quite low, and that could be actually affecting your rankings, right? So if someone visits your site, they're all good, it's very fast, but it could be affecting your rankings if the score is low on here. So I'm hoping I explained that well. If you have any questions about that, contact me or comment below, right? So as you can see here, 85 desktop, pretty good. Mobile maybe needs some improvements, right? So as you can see here, you can see that they probably need some improvements. As you can see here, properly sized images, optimizations and things like that, right? So maybe we need to work on that front. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just put some notes in here. Okay, let's just format that. Okay. Google page speed. Mobile, I'll just do mobile 52, I believe it was, and desktop 85, right? So desktop's pretty good, but you know, there's always room for improvement. Okay, right, we'll go back to the page one. So 2 call to actions, 1 free and 1 paid opt-in, right? So this is more from a perspective of what we call conversion rate optimization, right? So what I mean by this is, have you got certain things on your site that will convert customers, right? That will help customers navigate through the site and help customers contact you, and are you creating a good enough value proposition for your users, right? So what I mean by this is, are you offering a free consultation, right? Are you, making sure that call to actions are easily, seen and accessible throughout the site? And what I mean by this is, so let's just go to the site here. So I keep on going off it. I apologize. Let's just go, here we go. So when I land on the site, right? Call to actions, what I mean by this are like buttons. Maybe they're conversion buttons. Sometimes they may be, read more buttons. Sometimes they're buttons to navigate to a different page, right? Sometimes they're buttons to, download a guide, whatever it is, right? Now, when I land on this front page, right? So you see, we've got the only call to action I can see, right, is this button up here, which has a phone number on it, right? Okay, fair enough, right? Phone number, it's good, right? We click on it, it takes us to the contact page, which is nice, because a lot of people actually, when they put the phone number on the site, when you click on the phone number in desktop, like I've just done here, they'll sometimes you can't call someone on a desktop, right? You can't, you have to call, if you're on a mobile phone, it's different. When you click on it, it will call them on the mobile phone. But if you click on it on a desktop, you can't do anything. It's just a pointless button, really, unless they pull out their phone and type in the number that they're seeing on the screen, right? So those buttons are near enough useless, right? In my opinion, you might as well, have it as a contact us, or, submit a form or send us a message or whatever it is, right? Instead of having, this is nice because it takes us to a contact us page, right? Which is nice. I would even maybe just have them as 2 separate entities, right? I would have a button that says contact us, and then have another, text, right? I'll have text as a phone number. So it'll be a button that says contact us, and then I'll have a phone number next to it, right? So, for example, let's just go to here we go. Let's go to an example, a recent website I built. So as you can see here, so we've got Florida TMS Clinic, we've got the logo, we've got the address, we've got the phone number, right? When you click on that, it goes to a contact us page, right? And then we've also got an actual contact us button. So 9 times out of 10, people aren't going to click on it, because they can, like, for the people that are going to pull out the phone and type in their number, they can still do that. Obviously, you don't want to miss those leads. But people that actually want to use a form and contact you, using a form, I would have an actual button instead, right? Like this. So in my opinion, this is the sort of navigation bar you want to be aiming for. Simple. It's the control panel of the site. It's the control center. It's simple. You can find the address, you can find the phone number, you can search the site, and you can contact them, right? Obviously, there's different headers that are better in different ways, but in my opinion, this is just a simple, clean header that you can apply to your site. And these are a couple of different, there's a couple of different features that you want to include in those headers, right? Easy things that people want to find instantly, right? And that's what I mean by call to actions. And then sometimes what I mean in terms of, 1 free and 1 paid opt-in, sometimes you want to have something that's a bit more, how do you say, sometimes you want to have something that's a bit more opening the conversation, rather than having it so, salesy, almost like a, maybe just saying something like free consultation or free inspection, right? As opposed to just having, book schedule appointment, or book a, or view our I don't know, but something that says free, right? Something that's free, because that's opening the conversation for the user, and it seems to work quite nicely. Like, I offer a free SEO audit, right? Maybe a free inspection, free this, free that. Maybe it's sometimes quite a nice idea to have, right? Because it's just opening that conversation. Let's just go to one of the competitors, see what we'll just type up their competitors, right? We'll just see what they're doing. We'll just see what their call to actions are looking like, right? So when you land on this site, so you've got request a free quote, book online, and then you've got the number, right? And then obviously you've got other call to actions down here, which are call, free quote request, book online, free quote. So these guys are using a free quote as their free call to action, right? Okay, let's go to so you've got free quote, call number, right? So let's just go back here. We'll go to another example. So again, free instant quote. Sometimes, maybe because a lot of your competitors are using it, maybe think of something maybe slightly different, free inspection, or free, checklist, maybe, I don't know. As long as you can, as long as you're, it's just quite a nice idea to add, a free button, right? A free quote. Okay. So, just go to that, right? Okay. So robot.text exists. So it's just what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Z there for now, because I think that needs some improvements. Again, this, we could probably have some more call to actions on this banner here. Even a call to action underneath here, like on the actual banner itself. I feel there's a lot of improvements to be made in terms of on that front. In terms of call to actions, if I show you this article here for a recent client, obviously we've got the call to actions up there, and as you scroll down, we've got a form there, so it's instantly available. We've got a download a free guide. We've got a free depression test. We've got depression test here. We've got a free consultation, and that's stuck to the side, so you can constantly view it. We've got we keep them consistent, like free TMS consultation, things like that. So it's just an idea, just keep it in mind. It does make it's no, if you have call to actions on the site, customers are more like, if they're easily accessible as well, forms and things like that, it's just known that it's going to improve your conversion rate, right? So robot.text exists. So this is basically just, you do this, you go slash, you go robot.text, there you go, and there you have it, right? So that basically is just that's just what you want to do. You can just type that in and just make sure that that's there, that comes up, and then you also want to make sure that the sitemap, so that's telling the Google bot to crawl this sitemap. It's just telling Google where the sitemap is, telling the Google crawlers where this sitemap is. So it's just you want to have that there. And then we're going over the sitemap as well. So what I mean by the sitemap is it lists all of the different pages on your site. So you're telling Google, please can you crawl all of these different pages, right? So as you can see here, we've got all the different pages, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we've got, the XML sitemap, which is great. And then it's also, as I showed you earlier, it's included in the robot.text, so it's telling Google to crawl this sitemap to index all these different pages, right? Okay, so XML sitemap submitted to Search Console. I don't have access to the Search Console, so I wouldn't know, so I'm going to put Z there. HTML sitemap created, so I know probably that it isn't, because I can see all the pages, but we'll just double check. So what that is basically lists out all the different pages on the site. So what it looks like is this. and it basically helps the users if they need to, like, if they can't find a page they're looking for, they can go on the sitemap and they can navigate all through the different pages that they're looking for. So it's a nice feature to have. So we don't have that. Excuse me. And then we don't have it in the footer. Website submitted to Search Console. Well, I know that's not in there because I don't have Google Analytics or anything. Content budget exists. I'm not sure. Website is easy to edit. I'm not sure which CMS they're using, so unsure of that one. I don't know if it's WordPress or Wix or anything like that. Keywords and anchors properly mapped in phase 2, so we haven't done that yet. We're not going to do that. It's just the phase 1 we're doing today. Internal links pointing to homepage on main pages. So this is really important. And what I mean by this, so what you want to do, actually, that's incorrect, right? I would just have internal links pointing to, I apologize for that, I would have internal links pointing to main pages in general, right? Can be your home page if you want it to, but I would recommend just if you have like a main page that you're trying to rank, right? So it's cleaning services in this specific area. You want to have all of your main pages internally linking back to that page. And what I mean by this is, let's show you an example in here, right? So we want to rank for the keyword TMS Tampa. So this client wanted to rank for the keyword TMS Tampa, right? What we would do is we would make sure all the different pages on our site, and the blog posts and things like that, and we have a link going back to this page, right? To our money, we call it the money page, right? So this is the page that's ranking for the keyword TMS therapy in Tampa. So what we would do is on all these different pages, so let's say, how does CMS work, right? We would have a link. Okay, let's see if there's any, there should be some in here. Right here, so transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS, is going back to this page, right? And that's all it is. You just want to make sure, obviously there's not too many, you don't want to spam it, but you want to make sure there's a good amount of links powering up other pages in your site, right? So another page that this client wanted to get for is how does CMS work? So we have all of our different pages are linking back to how does CMS work, right? So for example, or TMS, let's just, I'll show you, basically get the point, right? So you just want to make sure there's a good amount of links going throughout the site. A good example is Craig Campbell. He's a good guy in terms of SEO and stuff like that. I follow him, but he has obviously, to internal links. Let's just find another example. PPC management. Let's go to news, right? Okay, he has these big articles, these great articles. Read more. Okay. So as you can see, he should have some internal links inside here, which he should have, but it doesn't seem like he does, which is not a good example, right? Apologies, guys. I was going to show you an example. I mean, if you look on this site, you'll be able to find some good internal linking examples. But yeah, okay. So going back on the site, I don't believe there is many internal links going to different pages. I mean, there's not many pages really at all on here. So that would be the main thing that I would, if I was going to work on this site, the main area I would focus on is building lots of content and lots of pages, and then probably giving the site a bit of a redesign, restructure, right? First of all. Because what you want to do is, if you've got a client, right? 2 seconds, sorry. If you've got a client and you're performing SEO on their site, you really want to gain. You want to. My best advice would be to own the website, right? Build the website and structure it in a way that will help. That will have lots of content. It will be nicely designed. It will have lots of forms. It will have lots of pages, right? Because then you're building yourself up to a good start for your SEO campaign, and that's what we're structuring how I'm structuring my business now. We have to own the site and we have to design the site before we start doing the SEO, right? So that's kind of how we do things. We have to have the site, and we have to redesign the site before we do any sort of SEO. So if I was to take over this site, I would redesign it completely, redevelop it, build out lots of different pages for all of these different services, right? And then we can start. Even doing that would boost you in lots of different areas across Google, right? Having lots of different pages, having great content, having great design and things like that would instantly, give you the benefit online, right? So that's what I would do. Just right off the bat, and then obviously, as I say, internally linking all those different pages as well is a great thing to do. Well, it's a key area, right? And if you forget about it, a lot of people do forget about it. People forget about these foundational systems, right? It's often overlooked, and it's a really key area. Internal links pointed to main pages, so I'm going to do Z there. All footer and header links work, so this shouldn't take long. So we just go home. Cleaning, maintenance, contact us. Okay. The one issue I would say is this contact us button down here, which kind of goes to a random page that doesn't look too great. Bit of an error there. Again, I've just noticed all the areas we cover, right? If you were to create out multiple service pages for all of these different locations, you could then rank for these different locations. It's as simple as that. If you were to create out, a place for Enfield, right? A location page for Enfield, right? Build it out, have some great content on there. Keyword optimized content, having a map on there, maybe, I don't know. Build out all these different location pages. You can then focus on ranking those location pages across Google, right? And that's, again, building it up, right? So, lots of opportunities, right? Okay, we're going to do a XM. Website sandbox, we just do it there. What that basically means is basically the website isn't showing up yet for whatever reason. We're not going to cover that really because it's a bit outdated as well. Website sandbox needs to improve. This audit does need to improve, and I need to change certain things on it and update it a bit more. About page exists, so I can't seem to find an about page on here. Obviously, there are kind of small paragraphs or small bits of text on, who the local family business on the home page, but there isn't a specific about page. For example, this site, we go to about us. We've got mission, values, vision, and things like that, which covers all the different things that they stand for. And we've got all the different team members as well. Okay. So we're going to do set there. So we've got contact us page exists. Unsecure content exists basically means when the SSL certificate that I was talking about earlier, sometimes it isn't secure. It's broken on certain pages. It's not secure. So you just want to make sure you go through a lot of the pages just to make sure that there's no issues with that. So as we will just do next there. Favicon, yeah, we've got that. So that's a little image up there. In terms of service page, so just by looking at the site, there doesn't seem to be any legal pages, right? As you probably know, it's very, it's important to just have legal pages. It also actually shows trust with Google as well, I believe. I may be mistaken, but it does show that kind of trust with users as well. But it also shows if Google sees that you have these specific pages, it shows you're a reputable, real business, right? You have these kind of, terms and conditions pages, you have these privacy policy pages and stuff like that. I believe Duda now offers something called, it's like an app on Duda for the Duda users out there. It's called Termageddon, I believe, and it basically updates your privacy policy. It costs a bit of money, but a yearly amount, but it updates your privacy policy and your terms and conditions over like every time they're updated. Any laws that are brought out, they'll add them to the privacy policies and things like that automatically without having you doing it. So it is quite nice. Keeps it updated all the time, and they are offering that. So privacy policy, do that. Reviews page. So the reason why I would say, obviously we've got client reviews down here. The reason why I'd say you want a reviews page specifically are the two things that people usually search out when they're looking at a brand name are reviews and pricing, right? So if you type up homemade services, they usually type up reviews, right? And you want to have a page that comes up specifically on your website that's called homemade services reviews, right? So just recommend that, having that on there. Pricing page, right? I've talked about this on my channel multiple times. Have transparent pricing on your website. Have a pricing page. I can't stress this enough. It will sometimes make that difference. When comparing you to a competitor, if you're showing transparent pricing on your page, sometimes people, users love to see it, right? And it shows that transparency. So it's a good thing to have on your site. We went a step further on the Florida TMS Clinic site, and we actually just made sure that the pricing was shown, instantly above the fold, so people can view it, they can read about it. Obviously got a page on it as well, TMS therapy costs. So it's just such an important thing to have. Doesn't matter what business you're in, even if it's a matter of, maybe it really varies, right? The price, right? Just even talking about the pricing is a good idea. Just advise, giving people reasons behind, how do you price things, right? What are the different factors that are involved, right? There's so much you can talk about if you can't say the specific amount, right? So it's really, it's a good idea, right? I highly recommend it. Whoopsie daisy. Let me just cross this out. Right. Okay. So let's just go back to this page in here. Okay. Indexation. We kind of already know what pages are being indexed, but if for you guys, if you want to know how to do this, basically what you want to do is you want to go like this. If it's a word, sometimes on a WordPress site you get go site. I have it in here. No, do I? No. Go site like that, and we can see all the different pages that have been indexed in Google. So, for example, this page, bit of a weird page. The formatting is incorrect. I'm not really sure what's going on there. We've got 2 contact us pages being indexed. We've got this one in here, which looks fine, except from this map issue in here. I need to note that down actually. Map issue contact page. Right. Let's go back here. So you want to make sure that there aren't useless pages being indexed in Google, being picked up by Google, and these can be, go through the checklist here. These can be thank you pages. These can be PDFs. These can be dates. If you're with WordPress, you can do authors, post tags, WordPress directories, account pages, everything like that. And then you've got thin content or no value pages as well. So what I mean by this is if you have, let's give you an example, right? So if you have a company that sells noodles, right? Noodle products, I guess. And then you have a bunch of pages on noodles, right? And then all of a sudden you have a couple of pages that are talking about how to fix a tap, right? That's not going to be, relevant. Google's going to pick that up, and it's not going to be relevant to what you're trying to rank for. If you're trying to rank for noodle products and things like that, and you've got a couple of pages on your site about how to fix a tap, the relevancy, you're actually going to go down. It's going to hurt your SEO because at the end of the day, Google is providing relevant information for its users, and if it crawls your site and notices you've got pages on water taps and things like that, and your user is searching up noodle products, you're not going to be, relevant to that user, are you? You're not going to be relevant to that search query. They're not going to deem you relevant enough, and they're going to put a competitor in front of you. So what you want to make sure is when you're checking what's being indexed, right, make sure that you're looking at the different pages that you've got that are relevant to what you're trying to rank for, right? You haven't got thin content pages, so you haven't got like 10 pages that have like 10 words on, or like one small sentence on. You don't want to have like a bunch of pages that basically have pointless value to your overall SEO campaign, right? So this is just important that you want to look at, right? It's just something that's important that you just want to review every now and again, just to check that there's no, especially with big sites as well, you should want to make sure there's just no thin content pages. A good example I could show you actually is a company, so Wrong Store. This is a company that I did an SEO audit for a long time ago. We'll just see what's being indexed on this site. Oh, it's a slow site, isn't it? Wow. Okay. We go to site. Okay, I think they've changed their company up a bit, their business up a bit, so there isn't as many pages on the site, but we might be able to find one. But basically what they had was a bunch of pages on their site that were kind of product not in stock pages, right? So there was like a ton of pages that weren't in stock. Like there was a ton of products that weren't in stock, and they were being indexed in Google, right? So it's saying, oh, sorry, this product is out of stock, right? And this is negative. This has a negative impact on your SEO. If you have like, hundreds of these pages that are products, sorry, this product is not in stock, sorry, this product is not in stock, and they're being indexed, on your site, and Google's picking it up, it's wasting something called your crawl budget, right? And the crawl budget is basically when Google have a specific, they're going to crawl your site, right? And when they crawl your site, you want to make sure what they're crawling is, all of that, they crawl your site every couple of, I don't know how many times when they crawl your site, to be honest with you. But when they do crawl your site, you want to make sure that crawl budget is fully used up, and it's everything in that crawl budget, all of those bots that are crawling your site, is completely relevant to your what you're trying to rank for, right? So when they crawl that site, you don't want to waste the crawl budget and have thank you pages. You don't want to have PDFs. You don't want to have dates. You don't want to have authors. You don't want to have post tags. You don't want to have all this useless information, right? So just keep that in mind. When you're doing. I'm going to put I don't know why I put these as. I need to put these as X's, right? Let's just do that because. The reason why I'm going to do it as Z here is because of that contact us page. It's a bit dodgy, so we'll just this page in here. This needs removing. It's because it's just a dodgy page. So I would do thin content on no value pages. Delete that. Site architecture, categorize URL structure. So what I mean by this is each page is categorized. So if we go to let's just go to this example right here, right? So this is one of his competitors. We go to window cleaning. This isn't a good example, but it's a good example of how not to do it, right? So they've got our services section, and each page is office and commercial cleaning HTML, right? But it doesn't have like a category, and the category is our services, right? So it should say our services dash office and commercial cleaning, right? So for example, in this page here, we've actually added some keywords. So we've got Tampa TMS, right? So we've got the location, we've got the we've got the practice, the service, Tampa TMS, and then we've got anxiety treatment Tampa, right? We've got Learning Hub. How does CMS work, right? And that's how you want to structure your site. You want Google likes to see categorized data, right? So let's just look at the other competitor. Right. Okay. Can't find him now. Let's just go to this guy. This is simplymade.com, right? Deep cleaning. Right, so as you can see, we've got deep cleaning, services, deep cleaning, right? House cleaning, services, deep, yeah. As you know, so you just want to categorize the data, right? On the site and the pages on the site. So let's just go back to our services. So as you can see, cleaning. Obviously, there aren't any other pages under cleaning. Maintenance, there aren't any other pages under maintenance. So these are all just kind of pages. They have no, sub pages and things like that. So we're just going to put a X there, but just because they don't have sub pages and things like that, so it's not really, they haven't got it in place, so you can't categorize them. Uncategorized pages or posts exist, so we're just going to do an X there, which 404 pages get traffic. So I will just plug this site into Screaming Frog, right? And this is a great little tool that you can use to kind of see 404 pages, things like that. Let's just see that load up. So you can see all the different data around the SEO, things like that. It's a great little tool to audit sites. I think it's free as well so we're just going to cross these all out, because I don't have that. Okay. That. Oops. Okay. Schema markup. Talk about that. Google My Business. It doesn't seem like they have a Google My Business by the looks of it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put X's in there. Okay. X there. Okay, we'll go with site speed and website design. Okay, cool. Right, we're almost at the end. So we'll just take this page in here, just plug it into, license expired. We'll see if there's any 404 pages. Wow, okay. Right, it's HTML. So you want to change it to HTML to show that these are all kind of pages, to see all the pages rather than seeing, all this kind of stuff in here. So we've got all the HTML pages, so switch that. So now we're actually seeing a different, I didn't expect to see this. I thought it would just be the pages that we've seen. So as you can see, right, we've got the kind of, okay, so we've got the standard pages in here that we've seen already. We've got the maintenance page, and that's 301. Okay, move permanently. Okay, so they did have a privacy and cookies page, but it's 404, so they've got quite a few 404 pages on here by the looks of it. Cookies policy, privacy policy. So that would probably need addressing. We probably need to address those 404 pages. It's good that they're not indexable, obviously non-indexable, and we can see that because we did the site and then we did the website, and we could see all of the different pages that were being indexed, so we could see that they weren't being indexed. So that's what non-indexable means, that it's not being indexed in Google. So I would address these. So they do have 404 pages, right? So I'm just gonna put that into, and that's something you don't want on your site. 404 pages, get traffic 301. Okay, we're just going to put that there. Okay, put an X there. So I can't imagine that any of them get traffic, obviously. So we're just going to do that there. 302s. I'm not going to cover all the status codes. You can search them up if you'd like to learn about them and why they're bad for SEO. Type up 404 in SEO and you'll get all the answers you need. 302, there's no 302s there. Okay, all right, cool. So citations. So I'm assuming that they don't have a Google My Business because I can't find their Google My Business. And if they do have a Google My Business, there's something wrong with it, because every time someone searches up your brand name, it should come up with your Google My Business, right? So unless they've got it as a completely different name, I don't know, but that needs to be addressed, right? Same with Bing as well. Citations, right? Citations are basically the business directory, so the Yelp, Yellow Pages, things like that. So when you type up a brand name, like I showed you earlier, they have all of the different kind of citations, so Yelp, LinkedIn, Nextdoor, different things like that. And these are really great for local SEO, right? And ranking your business in the local area, because if Google starts to see these different links with your address and seeing your NAP, which is your name, address, and phone number, consistently throughout the web, they'll start to see you. It's basically what a real business would do, really, building real citations, real business directories to show that you're a real business, right? And having photos and having all these different things will really benefit those rankings. Just having in general just this presence online, social media, right? As I say, citations, Google My Business, right? All these different things, okay? So I'd highly recommend setting that up. We can actually check, what citations they have currently. I believe we'll just go over to standard, we'll just go to Citation Builder Pro. Actually, I have to go to this one. By the way, guys, I don't use these guys. I don't use their services. If you are looking for citations, what I'd recommend, not using these guys. They do have a great tool though, so I just use that tool. But I'd recommend SEO Builder Pro. SEO Builder Pro, basically what they offer are citations that are unique. So every citation, the business, they spin the description, so it's more likely to index in Google, giving you more power, giving you more of the more benefits from that citation, that business directory. So they spin the description, so each description is unique, and then they also send it to an indexing tool, helping it index in Google. Because I've been stung many of a time buying citations from different people. For a good example is this one, and they, as most people do, right? They build all the citations, they build all the business directories, the same description over and over again, 200 times, and 2 of them really come up in Google, right? So it's key that, I just consider, checking these guys out, because I've worked with them before, and my citations, they even give you a report that shows which ones are being indexed and which ones are not, and then they'll re-index them, and they'll put them through the tool again and things like that. So just a really nice service, and I'd highly recommend them. Okay, let's just have a look here. Just go add business, homemade services. Just do that. Homemade services. Okay, and then we'll do their phone. Should really have their phone number and NAP down here, so their name, address, and phone number down here as well. I can't copy that, can I? 0466 462 225. 0466 462 0466 462 225. 225, right? And then the city is this place here. I'll just do that one. Do Australia. Okay. Let's just find the state. South Australia. Okay. Yep. Oh. Okay, we'll do that, and we'll see what citations come up. Okay, so citation report. We can see it's added to the queue, so it's doing that now. It shouldn't take too long. Okay, right. Page speed optimization. I'm not going to go through all of these because it seems like that's all in order. The page speed. I will address there. No, well, it's all in order from a perspective of user experience, so it loads fast by using the GT metrics I showed you earlier on this one. But we may need to improve the actual Google Lighthouse score that they gave us. So the Google page speed on from Google's perspective, right? So from a ranking perspective, that does need to be improved. Okay. Website design, mobile friendly. So a great way of finding this out is just taking the website, going to mobile friendly test by Google. Okay. Oh. And then you just plug that in there and they'll give you a test and they'll show you what the situation is. Breadcrumbs, good to have on the site, helps SEO. They look like this. We add them on every site that we do, especially it helps it helps user experience so they can navigate through the site. It also helps SEO as well. So, I believe it helps SEO. You can add schema as well, which I'll probably go into. Oh, I haven't covered the schema section actually yet. We missed that part. We'll go over that in a minute. So breadcrumbs, as you can see up here, come in this form up here. So it helps Google kind of crawl the site a bit better. Your link, you're setting up these breadcrumbs, helping that crawlability. So having that on the page is really nice. It's a good idea, right? I add them to every site that I build. So they don't have breadcrumbs by the looks of it. Go to the page. So they have got a mobile friendly site. I've even noticed like an issue here, right? Something as simple as having like a phone icon, a phone number icon up here would help users easily call your business, right? So having that up there, having having a phone icon maybe, I'll just show you a good example. I'll just show you, let's just say, what I mean by this. Okay. I'll just show you what I mean by this. Just check how that's going. Okay, haven't found any citations here. Oh. Okay, so like a phone icon like this up here would help increase those conversions as well. So I'd highly recommend that for anyone on their mobile view. We design our websites differently from desktop, tablet to mobile, completely different because there's different user experience on different platforms. So breadcrumbs, that mobile friendly, yes. Social media on site. Services, social media, doesn't seem to be any social media. There seems to be Bark, professional. Having social media again helps SEO, social signals, everything like that. Then it also helps users to build that trust. It was building that trust, having social profiles and things like that. I don't think I need to explain it to you. There's there CTA above the fold for highest traffic pages. So as you can see here, there is a CTA up here, but what I mean by this when I have CTA above the fold, what I mean is having them in the banners up here, having them in these areas up here is just a really good idea. For example, what I mean by this is I'll give you an example. Just having more call to actions is just a good idea. OCD treatment temper. So we've got book appointment. We've got that call to action there, we've got a call to action there, and we've got obviously learn about pricing and things up there. So having call to actions above the fold to increase that, those conversions. So I'm going to do a cross there because you know, that needs improving. Proper navigation, yeah, they have that. Don't need to cover that. How's that citation account coming along? Okay. Schema markup, last bit. So let's just have a look here. So we take the website. Take the website, right, structured data testing tool. We plug it into here. All right. So what this does, what schema markup is a language that you want to embed on your site. Okay. So it seems they are using WordPress by the looks of it. I may be wrong though, but what it is it's something that you embed on the site that helps Google understand. So let me give you a better explanation, right? What schema markup is, and this is usually the explanation I usually give. So a while ago, Google wanted to create a language, or search engines create a language, Bing, Yahoo, Google wanted to create a language called schema, right? So they could all understand what pages are all about, right? And this can come in forms of local business schema, restaurant schema, recipe schema, right? And these come in forms of different types of schema, and they show up in Google. Like let's just show cleaning services. All right, I'll just show you a good example. So this is schema. So these rating stars, and I do talk about this on my channel. This is schema down here, FAQ schema. This is nice. And the benefit of it is it makes you stand out when compared to the competition in Google, right? So you want to implement certain schemas where you see fit, where it's relevant, right? Because obviously you don't want to add like a recipe schema. So how to make noodles, right? You don't want to type up a recipe schema and have it show, well, you don't want to set up a recipe schema for a local business, right? So you want to make sure it's relevant, and you want to make sure that any schema you're setting up, that those FAQs or those reviews are actually on the website itself, right? Because you won't be able to show these little SERP, these little SERP features without having the actual reviews themselves. Okay, so that's what schema basically is. It's so these different search engines can understand what your page is about. And it can also improve the likelihood of you being clicked on in the different search results, right? Local business schema, I'd highly recommend for this company. So they've got organization schema, not very much on there, to be honest. Not great schema, to be honest. I'll give you a good example of great schema. We'll take a competitor and we'll see what they're using, right? And then that'll probably give you an idea of what nice schema looks like. And just see how that's going. Okay. So they've got organisation schema, needs improvements though. We'll just add needs improving. Well, I would actually make that local business schema as opposed to organisation markup, because organisation markup are probably bigger companies probably more benefit from that side of things. So, bigger corporations and stuff like that. So, as you can see here, it's not too great. So they've got breadcrumb schema on here. So that's the benefit of having breadcrumbs, right? Like we talked about earlier. They've got service schema, lots of issues with it, or warnings. They've got product schema, which is showing their reviews. So, there's lots of different things that we could add. I mean, even this company could improve their organization schema. I'll show you a company I work with and how they've done their local business schema, right? Okay, So you could even do schema that's more focused on the business itself. So what this means is, like, you could do schema specifically for cleaners. You could do schema for local businesses. You could do schema for, cleaners, doctors, things like that. You can make it even more specific, right? Medical clinic, and you can see all of this kind of juicy these details that Google loves to see, like geo coordinates, and this will help that SEO, right? So it's a good idea to have. If you want to learn more about it, watch some of my videos, because it is quite hard to explain. So they haven't got that on there. So I would just go like that. I would go blog markup. Yeah. Okay. We'll just do that. Okay. OG data, basically the data when you go into Facebook or you go into a social media profile. So when you go, let's say, I don't know, let's go to the Neat Crowd. And if I take this website and I go like that, this is OG data. It's kind of like schema markup, but for social media, businesses and things, accounts, and it basically it shows the data. It gives you kind of like a preview of the site, things like that, which is nice to have. So if I was to go, keep on. Right, here we go. So I was to take this site and I was going to plug it into social media. You can do it this way, or you can do it a much better way, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Just have a look here. Let's see what. Okay, so they've got OG data. You can go to something called Facebook Debugger, and you can actually check what OG data is on the site. Debugger. Face Debugger. Go like that. Debug, and you can see what the details are for the OG data. And I would check this across all the different pages. But for now, because we're a bit short on time, I'm just going to say that they do have that, because they don't have loads of pages anyways. Easy, it's an easy check. Okay, so that is basically everything. We'll just check that citation builder. Seems to be taking a while. But what we can do, obviously what I'll probably do is update the sheet, and then once I give it to the client, he'll have the details on there. Okay. All right then. Thank you very much, guys. If you want an SEO audit, let me know in the email below, and I can set that up for you guys. If you are a local business or you're interested in SEO audit, just let me know in the comments below, or send me an email. Also, join my Facebook group if you'd like this checklist as well. If you want a copy of it, join my Facebook group and you'll be able to get it in there. All right then. Thank you very much, guys. See you later. Bye bye.